Hey, hello everyone! My name is Master Starman, and I'm here to do another something I haven't done in a long time, and that is that I'm going to be doing another card log here. And I'm going to be doing this because, I've thought of something a little bit the last little while that I kind of wanted to talk about, and that is that I kind of want to talk about doing a sort of, I kind of sort of want to talk about doing another series where, like, I've had some really divisive opinions on some things, and I've wanted to kind of give some thoughts, like some of my thoughts on some of the things, and I thought I'd start with a pretty easy topic for me to talk about, and these are just going to be little short, like, opinions on, like, games that I've had opinions on. And not quite reviews, but just kind of some things on that. Kind of like an unpopular opinions kind of thing, I guess. And the game I wanted to start with was a game that, as I'm sure a lot of you have probably known, especially if you're watching this video, a game that I've done a very popular Let's Play of, and I'm very happy with the way that Let's Play turned out. And that game is Sonic Adventure 2. And yeah, I wanted to talk about Sonic Adventure 2 because it's a game I honestly really, really like. And until about 5 years ago when the HD re-release came out, there wasn't really a whole lot of negative rep that game got. And that could be due to a number of things. It could be due to bad aging. It could be due to when I started the Let's Play up, I actually originally wanted to do it if the game got an HD re-release, but by the time I said I was going to start Let's Playing it, it didn't get that at the time. It didn't get the HD re-release until about 8 months after I started the Let's Play. And the HD re-release also wasn't very good. It was kind of glitchy. It was not really that, like, what happened was that they decided to port the Dreamcast version, which the version I played my whole life was the GameCube version, and that fixed a lot of the glitches that the game itself had. And so, yeah, by the time I went around to playing it, the HD version was just really glitchy, and because it was basically a port of the inferior Dreamcast version. So yeah, that's all I'll really say about that's all I can really say about that, but, yeah, so, when eventually it got to a point where, like, some friends I knew both online and, offline, like, in my personal life, they would come to me and say, like, Sonic Adventure 2 isn't as good of a game as most people remember it, and then they would point to, like, all these reviewers of the game, because I'll point out that before, like, 2011, 2012, almost every review I saw in the game was very positive. Most people were saying it was pretty much, like, the best Sonic game in years, or it was, like, the best, they would say, like, it was, like, the only good Sonic game that came out in, like, the entirety of, like, the 2000s decade. And, then all of a sudden people were sending me different reviews of different people, and they were all saying the game was trash. And usually one of the things people like to comment about the game is that they like to say that the game has a terrible story, and my stance on the game's story has been the same since day one. The game, and pretty much every other Sonic game for that matter, you can skip every cutscene in the game by hitting a single button. Like, no matter what, every cutscene in the game, you can skip all the cutscenes by hitting the start button. And my stance on that has been the same since day one. And I'll be honest, when I got Sonic Adventure 2, it was a few years after the game came out. I think it was maybe 2005, maybe either late 2004 or early 2005. I had Sonic Adventure DX at the time, and I had rented Sonic Adventure 2, like, maybe once or twice to see how I liked it, and I decided to get Sonic Adventure 2. Very unrelated, but it was the day I saw Shark Tale in theaters, so it was sometime whenever that movie was in theaters. So yeah, I think that was early 2005. I would have been in second grade at the time anyway. And I played a lot, like, I played it a little bit. I played through roughly, I think my save data kept getting erased or something. I don't remember what happened, but I played through it about 2 or 3 times roughly in the span of a couple of years. And then on my second playthrough, I started replaying like some of the bonus missions, and then realizing like how fun like a lot of the bonus missions were. I'll rephrase that, I never actually finished the game until 2010, so it was quite a few years after the game came out. But yeah, whenever I actually played the game, like I started getting into like playing a lot of like the extra content that the game had, and I really fell in love with the game after that. So like, yeah, it was just something that I really liked a lot, and honestly, I never heard anybody complain about the game otherwise. And then, like, it seems like most people who've played it have criticized the game for one of 2 reasons. One, which is, I think, still a really stupid reason, is the story. And regardless whether or not how good a story is in a game or not, I don't think that should dictate, unless it's like a really long RPG, I don't think that should dictate the enjoyment of the game, especially when, like, especially for a platformer that's, like, the core gameplay is, you know, platforming. And then that brings me to the other point of Sonic Adventure 2, and that's simply whether or not people can get used to the treasure hunting or the shooting stages. And I've heard this criticism from a number of people, whether or not they like the treasure hunting stages or the shooting stages. It is what it is. I mean, for some people it could take some time to get used to, and for some people it might not. It really just, it is what it is. Like, I don't think there's any, like, ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's what it is. So, yeah, in regards to a lot of those stages, though, I don't mind a lot of the shooting or treasure hunting stages, if only that when playing the running stages, I hate to say it, but honestly, I enjoy playing as Sonic, but at times I actually say I don't enjoy playing as Shadow. I don't really like a whole lot of Shadow stages that much. The only one I'd say I really got, like, super, super large amounts of enjoyment from would probably have been Sky Rail. I like White Jungle in some instances, but I also apologize if you hear a lot of background noise. It's raining outside right now, so yeah. I do enjoy some of them to an extent, but, like, I hate to say it, I honestly say I like Mission Street more than I like Radical Highway in a lot of ways. I like, yeah, I don't really like, a whole lot of the stages. There's some guy on a bike right now, oh my god, I feel bad for you, buddy. Yeah, no, it's like, when it comes to the other stages, the only character that I really can say I dislike a majority of her stages, and I'm saying this I just give it a dead away right there, was Rouge. Because Rouge's first stage is alright, Dry Lagoon. I hate Egg Quarters with a freaking passion. I've hated that stage ever since I was a kid, and still do to this day. Her third stage is Security Hall. I actually really like that stage. I know a lot of people that don't like Security Hall. I find it really tense or whatnot, but I really like that stage. Just the design of it. It has a weird gimmick, but I think it's one of the more fun stages to play in the game. Route 280 is not a very good stage, and I wouldn't be breaking anyone's hearts by saying that. And Mad Space is a very good contender for the worst stage in the game. So if it's not Egg Quarters, I'd say it's Mad Space, and that's just my final answer on that there. So Yeah, but otherwise, though, I don't hate the core gameplay of any of the characters. In fact, I just find it largely the same. Like, even, like, even the shooting stages, I still find are pretty solid in platforming, especially a lot of Eggman stages. There's a lot of people who tell me that, like, a lot of Tails' stages kind of get shoehorned in, and initially I said that for a while I thought that a lot of Tails stages were kind of inferior, but after playing my Let's Play of the game, well, okay, I shouldn't even bring that into that, but, like, after playing it initially, I think that, I did enjoy the, what am I trying to say here? Like, I kind of learned to enjoy a lot of the Tails missions more. Like, I found, like, some of the extra content in a lot of those was more fun or memorable. Like, I thought that Tails had some of the most underrated songs in the entire game, and, like, on the soundtrack that's on iTunes, which I bought off iTunes because I like the game's soundtrack a lot, it only has, like, a couple of the Tails song stages in it. It may even have I think it's only Prison Lane and Cannon's Core, I think, are the only ones that it actually has. So, yeah, I think, I could be completely mistaken about that, but, yeah, really quickly, I'm just going to interrupt my thoughts here because I'm going through the Tim Hortons drive-thru, so... Yeah, this whole diversion was pretty much just an excuse for me to come to Tim's.
Hi, may I take your order, please?
Hi, can I get a large tea, 1 milk, please?
And would you like to try a bagel with that today?
Sure, what kind do you got?
We have a plain bagel, we have an everything bagel, cheese and chive, marble rye, 4 cheese, cinnamon raisin, maple French toast.
I'll try a 4 cheese.
4 cheese? Did you want it toasted with butter or cream cheese?
Toasted butter, please.
Anything else for you today?
No, thanks.
Alright, $4.46, thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, I'll get back to the Sonic thoughts here in just a second. It's just the Tim's drive-thru that you gotta... Yeah, but, like, yeah, I don't really have, yeah, I don't think all these opinions vlogs will be, just by me driving here to go through Tim's drive-thru here or anything, but, they could be for all I know. It's hard to say. Yeah.
$4.46.
Debit, please. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Thank you. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And there you go.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you, you too. Okay, let's just... Okay, then. So yeah, so where am I should probably also just get the microphone back a bit closer in case this will work. So yeah, back on the subject of Sonic though, like, I think that, yeah, I think that the extra content can either be seen in one of 2 ways for a lot of people. Some people can see it as extra padding or whatever. I want to, I guess, just bring up kind of the main reason why I like Sonic Adventure 2 more than I thought I did. Because before it used to just be a game I'd play, like, kind of either a guilty pleasure or just would play every now and again. Not even a guilty pleasure, really, but just, like, something I would, like, enjoy playing from time to time. But, to tell you the truth, as a Let's Player, when I thought of for years the idea of doing a Let's Play of Sonic Adventure 2, and I never really, until about 2010-ish, or mid-2011, I never really gave the full consideration the thought of doing the Let's Play of Sonic Adventure 2 like I did. And when I said I wanted to do a Let's Play of the game, I knew I wanted to do a 100% Let's Play of that game. Because, for one thing, very, very few people have actually done that on YouTube. There are definitely people who have, and one of them's talking right now, so, yeah, a lot of people who have, but, whoops, there's not a lot you see. And a lot of reviewers I found, like, a lot of Let's Players, a lot of reviewers and stuff I find, usually have only played through the story mode and that's it. Especially for Let's Players, a lot of the time I usually only see people play the story mode. And I'm like, that would just be too short of a Let's Play. It's like, it'd be like going to a restaurant and getting an appetizer and not the meal itself. And that's it. Like, and maybe showing off, like, one bonus video, like the multiplayer, and then that might be it. So it's like, yeah, I get it that it's a pretty daring task. You gotta play, you know, there's like 30 levels in the game. There's 31, I guess, technically, if you count the final mission. There's 5 missions in each level, and you gotta get the best rank, which is an A rank, on every single mission of the game. Like, that's about 150 emblems right there. 155, roughly, I think. Like, that's a very, very large chunk of the game. And I think just knowing the thought that I did that, though, was, I think, just all the satisfaction I could have needed for doing a Let's Play like that. Or for like, the game. But I grew to really like the game for something more than I already did, because I was confusing the fact I got a bagel for a muffin. Whoops. That's good. But yeah, it's like getting to, especially a lot of the missions I was just playing for like the first or second time, or like rediscovering, the impression of the game, it grew a lot on me. And like, even the parts where I got really pissed off, like, I look back on the parts where I got pissed off and honestly laugh at them now, because, like, it just added to something. Like, it was much more of an experience, and I know some people who've 100% tried to 100% the game and would think, like, it would be either tedious to do or all this or that, and I never thought it was really tedious, although I usually only did, like, certain chunks of the game at a time. Like, sometimes I would only usually do, like, one video at a time or something. And I think for a game like that, that kind of needs to be done. So, yeah, I don't regret anything that, like, came out of that Let's Play at all. Like, to this day, I think it probably remains my favorite Let's Play that I've done, because there's just so much I got out of it. I fell in love with the game in ways that I didn't think I could honestly have fallen in love with. And to hear people say, like, a few years later, like, I don't know if that really disheartened me more than it just confused me or this or that. I don't know really what I felt, because I knew my opinion on the game still had not changed, and I'll even say it right now, I still like Sonic Adventure 2 more than I like a lot of other newer Sonic games. Like, I have a very love-hate relationship with Sonic Colors, and there's times where I really want to like that game, but I feel like I just can't, because I can't overlook so many of the stupid design choices in that game. And as great as I thought Sonic Generations was, I just felt it was way too short. Like, and yes, there's extra content in that game too, but it's like, I just didn't feel like it was the same, like, or it didn't, like, affect me the same way, like, and, like, especially, like, a lot of the level remixes, like, say, Speed Highway, City Escape, etc., I just felt like I'd rather be playing the original versions of those stages much more than their remakes. Like, I didn't feel like there was anything that playing those stages made me feel like. I felt like I'd rather be playing them with Sonic Adventure 1 or 2 mechanics than Sonic Generations ones, so yeah, but yeah, in terms of, like, everything else, though, like, I think I've kind of said everything I needed to, and I even talked to, like, a couple other reviewers, like, when I met Some Call Me Johnny at MagFest this year, I had a brief discussion with him about this, and he said, like, and, like, I think the impression he's always given has kind of been, like, it's okay for someone to like a game that, like, the general consensus might not. Like, I get, like, a lot of points that most people could say against the game, mainly the whole, if you don't like the shooting or treasure hunting stages, that's mostly fine. And, like, yeah, I could honestly say mostly anything I want to about, like, other Sonic games, too. Like, it's mostly just a lot of what people grow up on, and another reason that Sonic Adventure 2 never really left me is that at a time when, like, even when there were new Sonic games getting released, like, Sonic Heroes was out by the time I got Sonic Adventure 2, and I think Shadow the Hedgehog was right around the corner, and I rented those games a couple of times, but I never owned them, so I never really got to play those a whole lot. The next Sonic game I honestly got was Sonic and the Secret Rings, and I also have a very, even more so, underappreciated opinion on that game as well. Like, so there's that. And then honestly, my next Sonic game I got after that wasn't for a few more years, and then I got Unleashed, which I wasn't really the largest fan of, and then I got Colors, which I have very mixed opinions on. So it's like, yeah, I didn't really get a whole lot of Sonic games throughout like the 2000s, and even during like 2007, 2008, like especially like early to mid 2010, like again, all I would play was Sonic Adventure 2. That's all I kept going back to, and usually it was to get like the A ranks. I think in 2010 was when I finished the game for the first time, like the actual story of it. I think it was that I was just stuck on like one of the final bosses for the longest time, and understandably it's a pretty difficult battle, the Bio-Lizard fight. But even then, that's just kind of what I felt when playing Sonic Adventure 2, and it's like, it's what a game can do to somebody that makes it special, not like how good a game can be made or how this or that. Because if every game was made the same way, something like, I don't know, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of like some major, highly acclaimed game that came out in the last like few years or something, and like, time can do a number of things to a game too. Nostalgia can definitely do a number of things, because like recently Sonic Mania came out. I think it only came out about a week ago now, and I played through Sonic Mania, or I should say I watched a friend play through it. I'm still trying to recover from tendonitis here, so I can't really be playing video games a whole lot, but I played a little bit for myself, and I enjoy Sonic Mania, but I'm not super nostalgic for it. I get that some of the references are pretty cool. I understand, like, there's, like, little references thrown in here and there, but it's, like, at the same time, I'm not, like, fanboying over it. I don't think it's the best Sonic game since Sliced Bread. But at the same time, though, I can acknowledge what it does as well, I guess. But, like, the Sonic Adventure games for me, like, I played those so much growing up that Sonic Adventure 1 even is kind of a not even a guilty pleasure of mine. It's a game I'll genuinely enjoy popping in and playing every now and again, and yeah, it's kind of it shows its age, but it's like it shows its age, but age isn't really a bad thing, I find, because if something still plays well, then I'm thinking of this one line that's in the History of the Eagles documentary, where Don Henley's talking about a line in Neil Young's Hey Hey My My, where Neil Young mentions something about in the line, it's better to burn out than it is to rust, and then it's like, And Don Henley says that he's not really sure he agrees with that line, and then he's like, because, you can have, like, you can have something that looks like it's rusted, like, to hell and back on the outside, but can still run just fine to get you through. And that's, I feel, what a lot of these games do. Whether or not they look bad or they're mechanically aged a little bit, it's like, they still work. And when something as silly as, like, a storyline or this or that gets in the way of enjoying something, I think that's just kind of where I think some of the lines get a little drawn a little bit. And I think that's ultimately what I feel for Sonic Adventure 2. Like I said, Let's Playing that game was not a chore. It was an experience. And I don't regret a single second of that experience. Even the 20 plus hours I spent in the Chow Garden when I should have been focusing on schoolwork, even doing all this and that, I don't regret a single second of that experience. And I still don't. It's been 5 years since I Let's Played that game. It's been literally half a decade, and I don't regret a single second of anything that's happened. And I think that just goes to show, like, what an effect that game seriously had on me. So, yeah, in an unpopular opinion, it is an slightly unpopular opinion. I know a lot of people who would say the game hasn't really aged the best, and yeah, I'm sure if I tried playing a game like it these days, it probably wouldn't be that good for me, but honestly, I don't really regret a whole lot. I can still safely say that, yeah, it's one of my favorite games of all time, plain as day, and that opinion has not changed. So, with all that being said, I think it's a good spot to stop here, and I think I will see you guys later. I think I might make some more of these topical vlogs. I have a few ideas for some slightly unpopular opinions on certain games, and maybe even there's even some games that a lot of people really like that I don't really like a whole lot, so who knows, we might make some more of these topical vlogs, and yeah, I'll see you guys for another one of these. I might do these weekly or something. I'm doing these now so that I can give my hands a little bit of time to rest, and that I can actually, like, get better instead of trying to focus on actually making a Let's Play. I don't plan for this to become a serious thing on my channel, but it might be, who knows. Anyway, thank you for watching. I've been Master Starman, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.